Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA Cardano. So here also not really much change, but I would expect here towards the weekly candle close maybe to see a little bit of action. Here we are still hovering above the green support area. That is relevant to maintain immediate upside. Because again, I can only explain what I said already in the previous video, that there is a chance that this was only a 1, 2, 3, like Solana basically. This here is a wave 4, and then there should be another wave 5. And for this wave 4, we've got this immediate support area. So as long as we are holding this, the idea that we can still push higher in a fifth wave is relevant. So it's that possibility 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or, but that doesn't make a great difference in the short term. So we don't really need to put all these possibilities on the chart. Or we can say that we moved up in a 5-wave move as indicated here, 3, 4, 5, and that was already the wave 2 here. Yeah, so that we made a wave 1 already. This is a wave 2, and we're now already rallying in this third wave to the upside. Now, if this is the correct count, but there's no way of knowing that at the current time. If this is the correct count, it could take us in the 1.618 extension to around 48 cents. That's sort of the minimum you would expect. And that's certainly a possibility. Or, now these are actually the two possibilities. So either we've got the 1, 2 and are now moving up in the 3, or we are currently still in this scenario where we are just going to push up once more to finish only this wave 1. So it's a bit like the Solana count, where we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that finishes off this wave 1, and we would afterwards come down in 2 and would then go up in 3. So these are basically the two possibilities, right? The ones that I observe, and let me take you through that in detail. So I'm gonna take these lines out, they might be confusing. So the first count, the very first count indicates here the wave 1 is finished. If the wave 1 is finished, we have the possibility that wave 2 is finished as well, and that we are already pushing here to the upside. And then again, the target is the 48 cent area, as long as the swing low of the wave 2 is holding, which is here at 30.7 cents. Yeah, very simple. So if anybody's trading this, it's very simple to set a stop loss below 30.7 cents and to trade the third wave. But obviously this might not be the best entry point now. Best entry point was in the support area. So this is one possibility, quite a high reward. So based on the risk to reward, it's probably still a decent setup, knowing, however, that the key support level is down here. So from where you currently are, you can still drop another, let's say 10% before it gets stopped out. So if you trade this, just be aware of this. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that, so 1, 2 is finished. The other possibility is that, like the Solana count, we've never made 5 waves up. Yeah, so this would be, the idea would be, I'm not going to move all these subwaves, but the idea would be that we only had a 1, 2, 3. All of this here is still a wave 4. And then we're going to push once more higher in a wave 5. And again, I don't really think this was already the wave 5. This looks only like a subwave structure of the wave 5. So obviously what I mean is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would form the wave 1. And that we either have done here now a wave 1 of the 5. And we're now coming down and move higher. But also this, also this is valid as long as we're holding above 30.7 cents. So I just want to make you aware of the different possibilities. The key support level remains 30.7 cents. And then we could come down into. So this is sort of, these are sort of the key possibilities here. And again, how this all could play out here, there's again different possibilities. But for everybody who wants it simple, the idea is as long as 30.7 cent is holding, we can push higher here. And again, there's a few possibilities how this could play out. because this could be already a leading diagonal. However, it's not reliable because we are moving in an ascending broadening wedge. So a breakout to the downside is actually preferred here. And I would not trade this within the wedge because these are highly unreliable. And experience tells us that broadening wedges, especially ascending ones, they often break to the downside. That doesn't mean we have to crash down, but it could very well indicate that we will get into this green support area again. So, and personally, I would wait for a bit more clarity here. And this could also be an ABC still, but you don't need to worry about that. Key is here the 30.7 cent level. That is really key support. And we can keep it very simple because if the 30.7 cent level breaks, it can take us down to the area between 29.28 and 26.25. So this would then be the next possible entry point. This will be next critical support. What I have to say, below 26.25 cents, we are probably going to make a new low. And all of this was just a corrective move to the upside. Personally, I don't think this move up is finished yet. I think this is going to push up higher. But there is a good chance, especially if we lose this trend line, which we obviously haven't lost yet. But if we lose this trend line, that we come down into the green box, which might be another entry point for anybody who wants to trade this. Personally, I would either wait for another drop into the box to go long, or I would wait for 5 waves here to complete. That would at least indicate that we are still pushing higher, and then to wait for the correction in an ABC, and that would also provide an entry point. So I will always mention to you what I think. Of course, what I think doesn't need to be right. This is currently quite critical here. It's quite a strange movement here. We currently have across the market the situation that a lot of these movements could be overshooting B waves, which again is only speculation. You only really always know afterwards. The point that I try to make here is as long as critical support is holding, the trend is still up short term, yeah. And if we now look at the indicators for ADA, so here on the 4 hour we can see that the trend is certainly up, momentum is there, we are above 50, that's sort of the bullish range. We're also not way too overbought, so it at some point would support the idea that we can still push higher here with ADA. We saw a bit of a bearish divergence, yes, so that's what I mean. We could first of all break down before we move up, yeah, get back into the green range, but the trend is certainly up, momentum is up because we're currently hovering above 50 here on the daily time frame as well. Typically here throughout the, you could say throughout the bear market, yeah, the RSI has been below 50 most of the time, as you can see here, probably, yeah, 80%, 70% of the time the RSI was below 50. That shows weakness. And the RSI being below 50 means nothing else than low momentum, yeah, downside momentum. As soon as the RSI on the daily starts to swing between overbought and 50, the trend we can be a bit more we can be a bit more, let's say, bullish, or we can be a bit more optimistic about a continuous uptrend, yeah, because 50 and 70, between this is bullish, between 50 and 30 is quite bearish. Yeah, a lot of people use oversold as an indicator. It will go up, but yeah, it usually gets a bounce, but it doesn't need to get back into an uptrend. But yeah, that's about ADA, everything I can tell you about ADA at the moment, and hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.